This exercise will introduce you to the practice of meditation. Meditation is a form of mindfulness, the practice of intentionally directing your focus and attention to whatever you choose without judgment or evaluation, and being aware of your mind wanting to drift off on its own with no accountability or direction. For the purpose of this exercise, we will be using the breath as an anchor to focus attention on the present moment. The breath is always present, and yet always changing. It presents us with a very useful tool that we can tap into when we need to reestablish our connection with the present moment and release worry or rumination or other wandering thoughts. There are many popular misconceptions about what meditation is and how to practice it, especially in Western cultures. Meditation is not relaxation. You may achieve a relaxed state when you release active thinking patterns, but the practice of meditation always involves focus and attention and actively redirecting when they go astray. Meditation is not being in the zone, always having a blank mind, or a Zen-like feeling of peace and calm. Meditation is intention. It is an effort to direct focus, then allowing it to be drawn away, then recognizing that, and finally bringing your focus back to the anchor in the present moment. To paraphrase some Eastern guidance on the practice, it would look like breath, then drift into thought, then come back to the breath, drift into thought, come back to the breath, and so on. Each time you notice your attention has been diverted and you gently call it back to the present moment focus, you are engaging in what neuroscientists call recovery. When this happens, you are building thicker bundles of neurons. Think of them as mental muscles that give you greater power and agency of how your focus is directed. This is quite empowering. You don't have to think about whatever pops into your head or presents itself to you in the mental moment. You may dismiss those things and come back to a state of steady, present focused awareness and attention that do not carry any of the emotional or cognitive costs that otherwise may corrupt being in the moment. For now, to begin the practice, you will want to find a quiet place. Eventually, this will not be as important. The purpose of meditation is not to avoid distracting things, but to not be distracted by them to the extent where they are disruptive. Eventually, other types of meditation involve being aware of external stimuli like noises, feelings, smells, objects you see, even ideas or emotions. They can be a welcome intrusion that allows you the opportunity to recover and to exercise agency over redirecting your own focus. As you direct your attention to the breath, you will find many possible elements to attend to. With each breath, your body literally changes shape, sometimes in very subtle ways and sometimes in larger ways. Every muscle in your body reacts to this and realigns and rebalances so that you can keep balance during the act of breathing. You may notice this is especially true in your spine. With each inhale and exhale, your spine moves like a reed in the wind. You may notice a change of shape in your abdomen as you breathe. The natural rhythm of the breath in the diaphragm is the diaphragm descending into the abdomen. The abdomen extends outward, and it creates a vacuum in your lungs, and the air naturally rushes in. As this happens, you may notice a change in the shape of your chest or shoulders or back. Maybe the orientation of your head changes. All of these movements will be in the rhythm of your breath. During this exercise, you will find that you may have difficulty focusing on the physiological sensation of breathing. If you do, you might try using a simple mantra. As you inhale, you can silently say to yourself, right here, and as you exhale, right now. Right here, right now. Right here, right now. You may use this mantra to enhance the breath anchor, and if you like, you might quietly allow the mantra to dissipate while you turn your focus back to the physiological sensation that you are focusing on. As you do this, thoughts are naturally going to come to your mind. This is normal and natural. We have living, thinking brains. Their natural function is to allow for the neural activity that creates thoughts and recalls memories and experiences. This is not a bad thing. This is not a break in the meditative practice. This is an opportunity to deepen your ability to shift your attention. The most important part is to notice when your mind drifts to a non-present thought. Imagine that these thoughts are like clouds drifting across the sky. You can notice them and observe them, but you don't have to interact with them. You don't have to have a dialogue with them. They are always going to appear. They are always going to drift across your awareness, and they're always going to drift away over the horizon. Then they are no longer real in any way as far as you are concerned. In a moment, we will begin. At first, I will walk you into a comfortable position where you may begin to experience this on your own. I will provide some cues and reminders of what I've already stated. Then gently I will release you into the experience on your own for 2 minutes. It is important to remember there is no right way or wrong way to meditate. If you are trying to meditate, then you are meditating. You're doing the right thing because meditation is failing. Part of it is being pulled away and coming back. Preferably you begin in a seated position, but if you're reclining, that's okay too. Just remember, meditation is not resting or sleeping. It's a very active exercise. Allow your spine to become longer, maybe it telescopes up a little bit. Allow your shoulders to relax away from your ears and pull them back a little. Imagine you are creating more space within your body at this moment, and gently shift your attention to your breath. Notice what just happened. At a suggestion, you are able to shift your awareness from listening to my voice and direct it to experiencing your breath. This is something you'll always have power to do. Many parts of you want to distract you and tell you to pay attention to something else. But ultimately, there is a wise part of you that knows that you have the ability to choose and what is good for you, and it wants you to make the good choice. As you notice breathing in its entirety, you can begin to narrow your focus onto a specific sensation. Is it the changing of the shape of your spine, or is it the rhythm of the abdomen rising and falling? Or is it the shape of your upper body and shoulders? Or is it that very physical, tactile sensation of air entering through your nasal passageway, going down the back of your throat and filling your lungs? Notice that the air coming into your nasal passageway is cooler and drier. And as you exhale, it's more warm and moist. See if you can notice subtle differences in each breath. For the next 3 breaths, take a full cycle. Inhale and exhale, deep and fulfilling. See if you can focus on just one physical sensation associated with breathing. If a thought tries to enter your consciousness and grab your attention, just bring your mind back to the physical feeling that you're focusing on. Even for many seasoned meditators, focusing on just the sensation for 5 breaths can be a difficult task. You will notice that thoughts arise. Do not engage or dialogue with them. Do not judge or evaluate them. Just notice them and come back to the breath. Let's try this for 2 minutes. You don't have to be perfect at doing this. There is no mastery when it comes to directing your attention. We will begin now. Good. That's it. That's all there is to it, really. It's that easy. The more you do this, the easier it becomes for you to notice when your mind drifts off, and it becomes easier to pull your attention back whenever you decide. This can be a very useful tool for when you're troubled by racing thoughts or disturbing images, or worries about something that may happen in the future, or regrets about something that may have happened in the past. You don't have to be trapped by those things. You can choose to reset your focus. I encourage you to practice this a couple times of a day for 3 to 5 breaths. And if you choose, maybe sitting in longer meditation starting at 5 minutes and working your way up to 25 or 30 minutes. It's your journey to see what experience and what you can make of it. Being as opposed to thinking